Welcome back to Tyranny. Okay, there's that effigy. It's nearby. But again, before I do anything else, I'm gonna go to Lethian's Crossing. Mainly because I want to see if there are trainers there. I'm not under time pressure, so. Alright, maybe this is actually a random encounter. The last two were clearly scripted sequences. Ooh, I think this is an actual random encounter. What? Oh man, scratching her armpit. That's great. Don't know. I don't expect this to be a tough fight or anything, but you know what?
On it. Uh-huh.
Oh, it might not be enemies. Can't be too careful though. Raiders. Welby. So this might be a scripted sequence too. Huh. A tall woman stands here, surveying the area from a small overlook. She glances at you and immediately goes back to watching her surroundings. Welcome to Iron Hall Trail, Fatebinder of Tunan. She salutes you. My name is Welby, first axe of the Bronze Brotherhood, though I'm not sure that title matters anymore. She pauses to gather her thoughts, then opens her mouth to continue. Instead, she exhales slowly and shakes her head. Never mind. You needn't be burdened with my problems. While I appreciate you coming to me before speaking to Raytaman, you will need to be careful. He has, of late, been acting out of sorts and any perceived slight can become problems for those who offend them. Choose your words with him carefully. What can I help you with? How could talking to you offend Raytaman? Choose to speak to the first axe before speaking to the actual first brother, bodyguard before the leader. How could this mean anything but collusion and treason? I know I speak out of turn, but I only wish to warn you. Tread lightly around Raytaman. Tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. Welby laughs a little. We're mercenaries, plain and simple. I'm not going to pretend like it's anything more. While it's true we have, in recent years, been a little more stationary than your typical crew, it doesn't change the fact that our services can be purchased if the price is right. The Voices made an offer to assure our cooperation, and we took it. If I had known Kairos would try to have us thrown out of our homeland afterward, well, I probably would have still taken the rings. But I would have been a little more prepared for the inevitable conflict. Raytaman will try to sell you on our long and noble traditions, like we're some kind of altruistic saints who can do no wrong. That story is as old and smelly as Grandma Beastman's tall hairs. She snuffs, greatly amused, champing her teeth and salivating as she works herself up over the thought. Beastmen do not give birth, she chuffs, studying Welby with darkly gleaming red eyes. Cannot be brood mothers, so how can Beastmen be elder brood mother? Welby stares at Kill in shadows and confusion. It's just an expression. I wouldn't even know firsthand if your tail, hair, or smell. And I'd rather not know. I'm just saying that we're not saints. If you have the money, we have the brawn. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take a job that doesn't seem right to me. But a ring's a ring, and I go where the money leads me. One point Raytamon and I will agree on is this. We did a job for Kairos, but we were not treated fairly. The Brotherhood is strong and we have the numbers. We will fight to the last man. I just don't agree with Raytamon's methods. What does it mean to be first axe? She sighs. I wish I knew, Fatebinder. The first act protects and consults with the first brother. I am supposed to be Raytamon's advisor, confidant, and guard. Lately, his behavior has become erratic. He's acting paranoid, manic, and distrustful. My duty as first act is to protect the first brotherhood. But I am also sworn to protect the Brotherhood, and if that means the removal of Raytamon, so be it. He has too many supporters in Lethian's Crossing right now to speak out against them. What do you think has happened to Raytamon? Honestly, I could speak to the cause. The stress of leadership? I couldn't speak to the cause. The stress of leadership? Battle with Kairos' forces? His night in the old walls? Well, he shrugs. Does it matter? His behavior is endangering the Brotherhood, and he must be stopped before we are destroyed. I fear people will be hurt by far more than a simple toll. She points south. He's over there searching corpses, looking for information. I know he's not going to find. He ambushed the patrol. He's going to anger an Archon. For what? His pride? So is same for Beastwoman and the humans too. Like cycle of sun to darkness, like crash of sea, ceaselessly churning. Better and tougher always replace old, weak, diseased, or deranged. How would you run the Brotherhood? I wouldn't waste time and resources on petty vendettas. That much I can tell you. I like battle and I like rings, and with the Brotherhood, we used to get both regularly. Now all we have is fear, suspicion, and blood. I want the disciplined regiment back. I intend to have it. While I may agree that we were treated unjustly, Raytamon's methods for obtaining restitution are despicable. I should speak to Raytamon before I make any judgments on anybody. Why are you forcing travelers to pay a toll? Raytamon will say it's because it's what we're due, and part of me is inclined to agree with him. But if I were pressed, I would say his pride is hurt and he's lashing out. He can be such a child sometimes. She looks quickly at her guards. Just watch yourself around him. He hasn't seemed completely in control of his faculties lately. It's frightening to see what he's becoming. By your leave, Fatebinder, and be careful. I'm gonna raid your pack real quick. Ooh. Alright. Cyclical energies. Nice. I take it that's great, come on, no? Right there. A striking man with a shock of bright blonde hair stands here, observing some men searching bodies of slain disfavored soldiers. He watches you approach, his angular features pulling into a look of disdain. And here's the Fatebinder. He doesn't mask the displeasure in his voice. I knew we'd see you. I was just wondering when. What brings you out where no one asked you to come? Are Kairos' dogs ready to be put down again? I won't surrender the crossing, no matter how many times you try to take it. We were hired to protect this city. We will continue to do so. No one else will have it. He glances at his men who have stopped to watch the conversation. With a start, they return to searching bodies. Never mind, he waves a hand dismissively. I don't care why you're here. My name is Lethian, and I am the leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. Speaking of which, what did Welby have to say? He looks north where Welby stands, watching you both intently. Has she already started filling your mind with lies about me? She and I are going to have a chat soon. I can't have my first acts countermanding me at every turn. I know she wants my position. Watch yourself while you are a guest in my land. If you have come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped. We will not back down in defense of what is rightfully ours. He sweeps his arms in front of him, gesturing to the surrounding countryside. Welby and I might not always agree, but that is one point we see eye to eye on. If you step out of line, we will both correct you. This is Kairos' land. All of it. His eyes narrow and he leans towards you. You are not welcome here. Now tell me what you want or leave. You will do well to watch your tone when speaking to a fate finder. Lethian laughs hollowly. I care not about Kairos' forces. We rebuffed their feeble attempt to remove us from our rightful home once already. I am more than happy to try again. You will find I do not cower when you raise your voice against me, lapdog. Oh, okay. Okay, well. I might just slay you here, but let's talk a little first. Tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. We are a humble group with noble, long-held traditions on the side of right and honor. Lethian's voice fills with pride. If there is an injustice that needs to be rectified, we are called. So you're hired mercenaries. Lethian's face takes on a sour expression. If you want to be crass, then yes. People pay us for our services. It's hardly the reason we do what we do. Tell me about Welby. He shoots a look to the north. I had such high hopes for her as my first acts. The continued success of the Brotherhood should be the single most important goal for anyone who is a member. She seems to have forgotten her place. She is not the head of this band. I am. If she doesn't stop overreaching, I will have to replace her with someone who knows how to obey. Why is Lethian's crossing so important to the Bronze Brotherhood? We were asked to do a job, and we did it. Then what happens? Kairos attempts to eject us from our home. He makes an emphatic gesture to the north, toward Lethian's crossing. By all rights, the city is ours, and suddenly Kairos wants it. Well, I intend to keep it. I refuse to leave. We've protected the crossing for years and even ensured Kairos' forces could do business here when Nerat asked us to. No, we did the job we were asked, and this land belongs to us. You said you don't do it for the money, but that's why you're fighting over Lethian's crossing. I don't appreciate your tone or the implications of what you're saying, Fateminder. Lethian's eyes are hard and his voice is flat. This is a mere matter of principle. We performed a service, and we were paid, and we were paid for that service. Don't try to glibly explain away a complex situation. This is our home. This is my home. I will have it. No one else. Now, if all you came here to do is insult me and mine, I would suggest you leave. is so important about these bodies? They are undoubtedly scouts sent by Kairos to ascertain our defenses. And where one group is found, many others are sure to follow. We are looking for anything that will tell us how many there are and where they will strike next. They've tried to take Lethian's crossing back already and failed. If the forces are too numerous this time, we might not be able to hold it again. I need to get to Lethian's crossing. Raytman considers your request for a moment. If I let you through, you must promise to behave. I have enough problems dealing with everyone else. I don't need the hassle of keeping an eye on you too. So watch yourself. This is my city and I have eyes everywhere. If you intend to stir up trouble, go somewhere else. I don't need it here. He fires an arrow into the air and then makes a signal by waving his arms in the air in an intricate pattern. You may enter Lethian's crossing. Not sure the first brother here has a full complement of oarsmen. His henchman is all of 5-6 paces away. Why the theatrics? I certainly hope that isn't the case. Well, if it ever comes to him or Welby, I'll probably side with Welby just because she seems more agreeable. Astor, a small figure, stands before some armor-clad soldiers. His arms move wildly as he gestures in frustration, yelling at the man directly in front of him. Absolutely not. I've come through Iron Hall Trail more times than I can remember. No one ever asked for a toll before. I won't be paying one now. He notices you standing nearby and turns to speak. Fatebinder, surely you, of all people, can help me. My name is Astor, and I must get into Lethian's crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll, to him or anyone, and he is to let me through. He folds his arms over his chest and nods with a pronounced finality. Greetings, Fatebinder. I am sorry you have to be drawn into this. What you stumbled into here is merely a conflict of the changing times. I am Will of the Bronze Brotherhood. Iron Hall Trail is under our protection, and anyone passing through it must obey our rules. This gentleman would like a passage through our land. A simple donation is required. He holds out his hand. These funds help our cause and keep Iron Hall a safe place for all travelers. Clearly you both can see the value in that. Astor speaks, his arms swinging about again, emphasizing his words. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You? Standing there with your weapons at the ready against me. His arms drop and he turns to you again. I'm not but a traveling merchant. I have no money to spare, and I certainly pose no threat to anyone. Keep this area safe indeed, he points at Will. You're the only threat here. Fatebinder, please talk some sense into this man. Okay, so let's look here. Think about this. If I help the merchant, he might sell me wares at a discount. On the other hand, I don't really care about the common folk or merchants or whoever paying tolls. Frankly, I would like to have this Bronze Brotherhood removed from these lands. Maybe I'll charge a toll, or not, or whatever Kairos decides. But until such time as that happens, and this is not yet that time, these guys basically control the city, and they're charging a toll. If I make him pay the toll, that could gain me brownie points with the Bronze Brotherhood, but quite honestly, I don't much care for brownie points with the Bronze Brotherhood. I could pay the 50 rings myself, and both will be happy, but I don't care to part with 50 rings. I'm not sure if I even have 50 rings on me. I'm not getting involved in this. This matter is a waste of my time. You are on your own, merchant. Astra's face falls and he reaches out to you. But Fatebinder, you must help me. I will not pay a toll to some brute enforcing a cause that means nothing to me. This is injustice, and is most heinous. Will laughs and points south over Astra's shoulder. Whether you care for the cause or not, merchant, you will not be gaining entry today. Now turn yourself around and head back the way you came before my hammer shows you the error of your ways. Astra turns to leave and glances at you, his lips drawn to a thin line. I will remember your help, Fatebinder. Raytamon sent the signal that I'm supposed to let you pass without paying the toll. He moves to his side to let you through. Such a shame. I would love to see if your money is spent differently than anyone else's. He jerks his thumb over his shoulder, indicating you should go. So if I was trying to power game this, the best thing would have probably been to either convince this guard to let the merchant through, or to side with one side, to gain favor with one side or the other, basically. But I'm not trying to power game this, I'm trying to play my character like I envisioned my character. And my character, quite honestly, wouldn't really care about the plight of the merchant. And I have no love for the Bronze Brotherhood either, so it's kind of like, you know what? This isn't worth my trouble. Fatebinder, you have returned. Except in this case, the child is in control of an army capable of laying waste to his home. Okay. So before I pass through, can I loot any of these bodies? So I like looting bodies. Doesn't look like it. I think they already got everything. Yeah. As I would have figured. Okay.
Spotted something.
Good bit of supplies. Nothing spectacular, but I'll take it. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing, Fateminder. Sorry to cause a disturbance, Fateminder. Just making a point to my friend here about harassing me for rings. He chuckles. Get it, Krasner? Point. You stabbed me, you bastard. And I'm not harassing you. All I want is what you owe me. It's a tiny scratch. Stop crying about it, you baby. If you want, we can get the Fateminder to decide who's right in this little matter. That's it. That is, if you think you have a leg to stand on. Once you can stand up again, that is. Chuckles again. I'm an enforcer of the Archon of Justice. Once invoked, my ruling is final. Are you sure this is what you want? Fine by me. Then I won't have to resort to violence to prove my point. I know you're going to rule in my favor anyway, so yeah, I agree. Tell me your side of the story. I asked Krasner to do a job for me, something simple. He comes back, says the job is done, even though there's no results, and demands his pay. I tell him no, and Krasner there gets all threatening. What was the job? Business has been down on account of all the other merchants around here. I hired Krasner to have a word with some of them. Maybe get them to leave town or stop competing with me on price. Not only did Krasner not do what I asked, but it got back to me that he shook down some of the other merchants for rings. That's not what I hired him for. You hired Krasner to intimidate your competition. I can see how it might look, but that's how it's done around here. Sometimes anyway. He folds his arms. Doesn't matter since that's not the issue and it didn't work anyway. Krasner can keep the rings he extorted from the others. He's not getting a single one from me. I hired him to do something and he didn't do it. End of story. And what's your side of the story? Felno hired me to talk to some of the other merchants into leaving town. I did what he asked, but now he won't pay up. Well, what happened with the merchants? The merchants around here aren't going to back down just because some soldier says a bunch of mean words to them. I figured I'd shake them down for rings, convince them it'd be cheaper to leave. Did the other merchants pay up? I made a few rings, yeah. Once I visited all of them, I came back to collect the pay I was promised. Felno said he wouldn't pay me, and then he just stabbed me. Was this a one-time job or something ongoing? Just a one-time, drinking money, you understand. The Brotherhood wouldn't approve of me freelancing for some merchant, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to do it just this once. You trying to kill Krasner? Of course not. Like I said, he was starting to make threats and wouldn't take no for an answer. I might not be a tough man, but I can take care of myself. Well, I think it's pretty obvious to everyone that I'm the one in the right. I did not get what I hired him for, so he doesn't deserve any more money, especially from me. Shut up, Felno. Just because your competitors can't be intimidated doesn't mean you get out of paying me for the job. I deserve payment for the work I did. Oh, that would be good. But I'm honestly not so much in it for the money. Unless I think money can get me. Like my whole thing is I'm trying to gain power. Now money is one way to gain power, but in the position I'm in, I don't think amassing a fortune is really going to be the way to advance myself. So shaking them both down for money, wow, hilarious. Not really my goal. Krasner, you can keep the rings you acquire, but you'll stop trying to collect your pay from Thelma. Better not come around again, Krasner. He nods at you. Thanks, Fateminder. The way I see it is, Thelma's in the right. Sure, Krasner attempted to do the job, but he failed. So the job is not complete, so why should he get any money? It didn't give me any option to say, give him some money, but not the full amount. So I had to decide it seemed the best way, the most in line with how I would react. So what would you say? So what would you say you accomplished here? From your judgment, I surmise they aren't guilty of intimidation. They're guilty of being caught. Nice lesson. I don't really care if they intimidate the townsfolk, other merchants. Merchant, subleader. Yeah, I'd be curious what the merchant is selling, but mainly merchant. I really want as a trainer. Okay. Greetings and salutations. The jolly merchant, trainer, greets you with a smile and a clap on the shoulder. Welcome to Lethian's crossing, home of the best merchants and the entirety of the tiers. He pauses and winks. That would be me. Tyranny, bronze at your service, he bows. What can I do for you? Did you tell me anything about the seal? I found it in Ventrian's well. Let's take a look, shall we? Archian takes the seal and turns it over. When he spots the insignia, he quickly deposits it back in your hand and wipes his palms clean. Where did you get that? Came from a merchant caravan that was ransacked. Suspected as much. He mumbles and worries his brow. So far off the normal trading routes. But why there? Why then? Why now? Maybe you could start by telling me about the merchants. He refocuses on you and nods. Of course. The sigil belongs to the Hand Over Quill Merchant Company. His lips tighten to form a violent pucker. Tell me more about the Hand Over Quill. They were once a powerful trade organization that, well, he cups his mouth and glances around. Let's just say you didn't want to get between them and a contract. What with Tunan's new laws in the bastard city, the Quill slunk into the shadows of Kyrus's authority, trying to keep a lower profile. If you're involved in any of their dealings, stay far away. A shipment of iron and weapons went missing. It was found with this seal in a house in Echo Call Crossing. He strokes the shadow of beard growth under his chin. Suspicious, I agree, but war always has its little problems. He waves a dismissal. It doesn't add up. Now, if we can return to the subject of my wares, he smiles and readies to show you some fancy bauble. The weapons were made for the disfavored, and the Ventrian guards suddenly had iron weapons. The Ventrian guard? Archian drums his finger to his mouth and considers, well, this changes things, I suppose. Changes things. What does hand over quill have to do with the Vendrian Guard? First things first, Archie clears his throat. This will come at a price. If something unfortunate took place and my connection were traced back to me, consequences would be costly. Have you considered that shaking me down could be even more costly? He studies you a moment before his posture deflates. No, I suppose not. You can make my life far more difficult in the long run, can't you? Yes, I could. If you breathe a word of this to anyone, I will denounce you for the liar that you are, but he looks around to make sure there are no settlers close enough to overhear what is being said. I received instruction from Fifth Eye to use hand over quill to deliver iron weapons to Vendrian's Well Citadel. I don't question my orders, I just follow through. I don't know anything else. That's the truth. So, the Scarlet Chorus hired that company? The Scarlet Chorus was... Why would the Scarlet Chorus feed weapons to the enemy? Is this what's being insinuated here? Or just to keep them out of his favorite hands? Interesting. Let's see what you got. That is a hell of a mace. Can't afford it, unfortunately. A lot more damage than the one she's got now. Slower, less accurate, but way more damage. Devastating. Pushes an enemy into ruts. Accelerates recovery on kill. That. Staff of Enigma. Much better than what Ebb has now. In every way. Too bad I can't afford it. It's something I would like to get. All this stuff is really too expensive for me. Alright, let's turn back and try to get to what I'm here for, which is training.
What have we here?
Frozen Shackle. Frozen Shackles are an impediment made for short-term prisoners. The cold air and volatile magic in their forgings are intended as deterrents for notably cruel guards. Frozen Burst, when critically hit, damage 17 to 25 frost. Interesting. So if someone critically hits the character, this goes off and hurts them. There we go. There's plenty of merchants here. All we need is a trainer. Due to their frequency of raids, all the bridges and the ramps at Lethian's Crossing can be raised to provide safe places for settlers to hide.
Would you take a look at that?
Nice. Welcome, friend, the merchant cries out to you, his belt jingling with rings. He waves his arms about in a dramatic presentation of his wares. What brings you to my humble trading post? Have a certain something in mind or just browsing? Javelin, iron great axe, superior iron great axe. Awesome armor penetration. So this one is, yeah, it's significantly better than the fine forge bound iron hammer. Okay, this seems like a simple home. Why did it allow me to enter? And I can loot there. More damage, more accurate, faster, less armor penetration, lower range. I don't like the shorter range, but greater DPS and accuracy. Probably worth it. This wall pierced up and damaged years ago, but was never properly repaired. So this was here just for as a place for me to loot. I don't mind, I like looting, but okay.
What have we here?
That's the place to enter. That's the stronghold, I imagine. Seems I've made the rounds. Jeez. Nobleman's bracers. Not very good, but I can sell them. So there's that. Gotta be trainer somewhere around here. I figured there would have been some like cacophony, but I didn't find any there. These floor stones have been broken recently. Bits of metal nearby would suggest it's the result of careless soldiers. Interesting room. This sunken relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol similar to the one you saw at Ascension Hall. The relief is incomplete, and thus the final form of the rune is unknown. Pressing charcoal to parchment, you capture a blurry but proportionate image of the ancient relief. With enough collected imprints, it may be possible to reconstruct the original shape of the rune. Portion of of an unknown sigil has been recorded on this scroll. The charcoal imprint is rough and incomplete, leaving the full design a mystery for now. Take it. Ooh, more stuff. There does not seem to be a way to open this door from this side.
What have we here?
What happened to that chapel? No, it's in her. Let's see this helm. Not very good.
Makes beast woman's ears and bones ache. Makes paws burn. Do not like thrum of mystic pulse and stone steps of spire place.
This chamber immediately reminds you of Ascension Hall. An intricate ruin running along the floor can only mean one thing. You stand at the feet of a great spire. Each step you take echoes across a great distance. As you gaze upward, the sage-colored walls quickly give way to an ending blackness. The rune in the center of the floor is inactive, and the silence of the hall offers no clues as to its use or function. You feel a slight tug in your chest, a faint echo of the energy that enveloped you at Vendrian's well.
Ground quivers and gleams, watching with mystic eyes, watching without blinking.
Alright, I got more of the sigil. Puzzle, huh? These grooves in the floor are inlaid with a dim incandescent material that glimmers upon closer inspection. They appear to be intersected at various angles, forming a myriad of potential shapes similar to the rubbing you found. Oh, okay. I see how this works. I don't know if I have enough of it to do this yet. I just might actually. But we'll leave off here and we'll attempt this puzzle next time.